draft because, yeah, again, if you're looking at game 1, so much flex. Looking at game 2, it's still very comfortable. And nope, again, sometimes the meta game dictates where you should be playing. And here, this time around, Blacklist on the play.
Yep. This time, Blacklist getting themselves first pick, and BURNxFLASH understood that there could be a very high likelihood that they want to prioritize onto the Fredrin pick. And that is probably the main reason why BLACKLIST International wants to go for the first pick.
And then they just, BURNxFLASH, they ban out Fredrin, understanding the situation that Fredrin is the hero of this matchup. Chima has to hold on to that, or maybe they have to deny that away from Wise. There is no Novaria. Do you go Valentina here if you're BURNxFLASH? The Kaja also look well. I think you go Joy Valentina if you're BURNxFLASH in this particular game.
Joy Valentina. So far, we've been seeing Joy just going out in the open, and both BLACKLIST International and BURNxFLASH have played both of these. But they focused onto a Claude and a Yves pick.
I love it. Because it means that BLACKLIST International might be forced to go for, if they want to pick up the Valentina again, they will be forced to go for the Varia position 5 once again. So that will not be the best situation. Then again, for BLACKLIST, they can still go back to the Joy. I think the Joy is still good in this particular game going up against the Claude.
They're also trying to see if the Joy gets picked up by Edward because Kaja is still up for grabs. It's something that BURNxFLASH can utilize here in the final pick of the first phase to try to counter that. So it's all in BLACKLIST playground now. What do they want to go for?
Yeah, no, I think the Joy Kaja seems solid. It protects the Joy. It gives the Novaria room to breathe. It can play in the mid lane. And instead, early back shot. Whoa.
Very early.
2021, hello?
Wow. Are we back to M1 World No, it was M1 World Championship. But anyways, kidding aside, this is very questionable. You do understand why they want to go for Joy plus Baksha because you want to go in together. But Claude is not a hero that sits back. Leslie, I understand why they go for that. But Claude wants to go in with the team. So you just pick up the glue and you're okay. A-okay.
It worked for them. And they are willing to play that again.
You know why they did not pick up the Kaja this time? I think that they're eyeing for Natalia. BURNxFLASH might go for the last pick Natalia. So BLACKLIST, you have to ban that out.
They have to.
Yeah, game number 1, that is what they did.
They already
went for the Natalia ban.
Yeah, you have to respect that.
You gotta.
If you're BURNxFLASH, maybe you ban out perhaps Faramis? Oh, Faramis. I think you ban out Faramis here.
I can't believe Faramis was left open like this.
Okay, Beatrix. They still go for Beatrix.
It may be left open all the way to the end here. I mean,
would it really?
I think it's a bit too risky, but I think they want to just see what BLACKLIST want to go for first. What bans they want to go for here. It's also pretty good that BURNxFLASH read out that Owl would go for the Beatrix, right? One of his signature picks, the only pick that he's really, well, hit Beatrix and Brody actually.
Yeah.
It's definitely a telltale sign that BURNxFLASH would very likely might not want to look at getting a Lolita for themselves either. BLACKLIST International, in this case, they have the Novaria. Novaria can go mid, can go roam. We've got the Joy, can go mid, can go EXP. So there is still quite a bit of flexibility in their name. So is Oh My Venus going to be picking up the Lolita for themselves? Or are we looking at a Minotaur? Because this doesn't seem exactly too big of a all-in team fight composition from BLACKLIST International.
I think the Minotaur is still good in this particular game for BLACKLIST International. It will be banned out. Okay. So they will be forcing like a Lolita, perhaps.
Faramis still up.
They might take it actually.
Faramis.
For D7?
For
But they gotta watch out for the Melissa.
Is Melissa really gonna be a problem?
Melissa or Carrie, those are still out there.
Against Faramis, it is a big problem. But the thing is, they already have a pretty good matchup up against the Melissa in the Claude. Going for the Faramis is a bit too greedy, in my opinion. They really have a Eve, unless they want to go for, Faramis roam, I guess, for D7.
But they need some sort of lockdown onto the Joy. With the ban on the Kaja, now they won't have as much. They do have the glue, though, so that could be the counter to this Joy. So they need a way to defend now the Claude. Maybe they pick up the Lolita themselves, right? Or maybe a Grok.
What about a Mincetar?
A Mincetar. Actually, you're right.
We haven't seen a Mincetar in so long.
That's actually a good pick here for BURNxFLASH if ever.
They have the box. They will have the circle.
Martis first.
Do we have a triangle?
Yeah, no, they're in no rush to pick up a roamer.
You go Valentina now, right? If you're BLACKLIST. Or Faramis.
Faramis, Lolita, both still up for grabs. I think Lolita is going to struggle a bit against a Martis and a Glue.
Faramis and perhaps something to deal with the glue in the Mars. Maybe a carry, actually. Carry and farm is here for Blacklist International.
Or they could just go Brody, a good lane as well, up against the Claude. It's just really scary up against the Eve.
And the glue.
And the glue.
I know for a fact that BLACKLIST International love to get lane priorities. And right now, with BURNxFLASH already picking up the Claude for themselves, I think BLACKLIST International needs to play a lot more of the support role, whereby they can actually help the gold lane. So with that all said,
I forgot about, yes.
The outrange, right.
But then again, it kind of makes it so that the Lolita will even be a better pick for BLACKLIST International, for BURNxFLASH, right? Deals well with the Varia, with Leslie.
Yes.
Decent to stun the Joy. You already have the glue to kind of lock down the Joy anyways. You're not that required to go for a hard lockdown. There's also that argument that can be made for the Cho. The Way of the Dragon is really delivering the win for BURNxFLASH.
Speaking of which, they don't really have a lot of lockdown, don't they?
They don't have lockdown. Not a lot, right? No reliable lockdown.
Don't answer for the Joy as well.
The Cho. The Cho would be the best, I think. The Kufra works as well, technically, up against the Valentina, but this is a big hit or miss. If they're not able to find the Leslie, or shut the Leslie down from the early game, which is already a tough task for the Claude to do.
I see the Kufra either working so well because maybe Oh My Venus doesn't spot out D7, given the Astral Echo, but look at how BLACKLIST has been working, even from a losing angle, even when they're behind. I'm pretty sure they know how to check their bushes, do their homework. You can hear the audience here in Aeon Mall 3, Mian Chai. The Cambodians know that if they do this right, if they take Game 3, BURNxFLASH sits at match point, and I don't know what the agents are willing to do here, if they're able to match the energy that the Cambodians are presenting.
This is going to be the make it or break it game for BLACKLIST International. So much that they have to fight for. Will they be able to do it so in this game number 3 here into the land of dawn? BURNxFLASH, they are towering on against BLACKLIST.
Typically, we go for the Leslie. You want to go up against very tanky heroes. That's the idea. You want to chunk them down. This time, there's a lot of mobility on the side of BURNxFLASH. With the Claude, you have the Eve that can also take out the Leslie if ever they find the opening. And they also have Kufra and Glue. So, good as it may for the Leslie. So much hype, for sure. But it doesn't mean that it's a sure win.
Fast clear in the mid lane, instantly towards this bottom lane, wanting to put more pressure down to give Owl a better lane as D7 jumps in with Tyrant's Revenge. Able to dish some damage out onto Owl, but Venus does the same thing. It should actually be BURNxFLASH with a victory. Almost a solo kill from D7. But he's going to be caught very low. He needs to be careful here as Venus goes for the Astral Spear.
Nice.
Good dodge, good sidestep. The Cambodian crowd roars for it.
So now BLACKLIST International would have a little bit of priority down at the bottom. They did manage to poke D7 out of that fight. And they are definitely going to make full use of this opportunity since Kufra is all the way back home. Might want to shift things around. CCAT moved himself down to the southern side. They know that Owl is low in HP. Void Crystal tries to pick him off.
No flicker. Very expensive early on. D7's going to be spotted out though. Good shield indeed. Good opening from Wise, but Owl's playing this wave very well. He wants to take it slow, but they decide to shove it back to Donut.
With the flicker already used out from the side of Owl, BURNxFLASH very likely would want to make full use of this opportunity for the next 120 seconds. This lane must be targeted. They must put more emphasis down the bottom lane. Since, let's be honest here, it's a Joy versus Glue. Who's gonna die there?
Well, only the one who makes a mistake.
Only the one who makes a mistake. The marginal error, what we're looking for. And Edward, meantime.
Split already right now. Venus trying to go for the kill. Chama on the Martis. Still having pretty healthy health bar there. CCAT gonna get chunked, gonna get spotted out. Yue actually stole away the decimation. D7's looking for Tyrant's Revenge right now. He charges in onto Yue. Not quite finding him, but Yue does a lot of damage back. Wise, 1 level advantage, still having the Retribution as he picks up the purple buff. ATM has come back alive after recalling. Chama now going to be engaged on after real world manipulation in the back line as well. Onto Yue, forcing him out. Chama wins out the Retri battle. Wise now caught on the pickle as he's going to be stunned up, but BURNxFLASH, no, they got the victory. They got the better trade. They do not need to go for more.
Oh, D7 really participating in the team fight so well. He sat back even when he was very low.
Revenge in the rage. Not sure if this is going to be enough to kill Edward, but now with the split, it definitely is enough. First blood to BURNxFLASH.
First blood in a kill that take a turtle. Despite the fact that they don't have enough levels on the Chima, massive wins for BURNxFLASH.
Just as I was talking about it, Glue versus Joy will die. But apparently I was very wrong. They still managed to get a kill down on Joy, and that is going to be a big thing. But at least we're talking about EXP lanes. That kind of gold deficit and EXP deficit is definitely going to come and equal it out eventually, unless the Joy really just couldn't get himself back on track.
Wow, who would have thought that it will be BURNxFLASH to control this game? And well, I would say though, BLACKLIST International, the focus on the gold lane, that was well done. Donut is not having a good time. Donut is about 1.8k gold, while you can see that Leslie is already at 2.2k. So definitely, there's a massive lead.
Wow, good catch by D7.
That's blind!
Right as he walked on the wall, Venus gets caught, and Donut, he gets the assist. Now the lane as well. They're going to be clearing it out. They want to go for some more pressure here. And honestly, for Donut, as long as he doesn't die, it's going to be worth it for him.
Never mind what I said. They are helping Donut now.
They're helping Donut really well, but now D7 might actually be caught by BLACKLIST, but there's no kill pressure from Wise. That's the thing. On this box shot, you can roam around, you can put pressure down, but D7 just walks away out of it.
So eventually, I gotta have to look down on look at D7, right? That blind Tyrant's Revenge. That set things up for the team. That's eventually gonna be helping BURNxFLASH to get himself that part of the lead. We're looking at a 500, 600 goal difference. That is a steel leg place that we are looking at.
ATM's joining in the back. Edward trying to do the same right now. D7 goes in for Tyrant's Revenge. Has the rage, and he locks him down. Chama will lose out. How? Wise won the rectory. 50-50 goes to him. Now ATM is still in the back line of BLACKLIST International. D7 charging that revenge up, but only to disengage. Donut clears out the wave. A brilliant steal to ensure this mid-game safety for BLACKLIST.
Wise really salvaged his team because of that. They were able to win the turtle, so that means that they will get some part of the economy. The fact of the matter remains, though, Donut is now given the license to go for a double lane setup. He now takes up the top lane and the mid lane, as well as some part of the jungle. So Donut, whatever it is that happened in the early stages, it's now gone. He is now going to be at par. But the fact that there was a good head start for Owlet means that he will be getting the farm that he needs. Still, BURNxFLASH will have their win conditions straightened out.
Remember, we have seen Owl getting, we have seen Donut getting the Blade of Despair plus the Berserker's Fury at 7 minutes into the game. So now the question is whether Owl is able to keep up to that tempo and beat Donut in terms of timing. Because the 9 minutes mark is what we want to look out for. The 9 minutes mark is when BURNxFLASH eventually activates themselves.
I don't know. I think it really depends on Donut, right? He has those item power spikes. Right now he's on course for the DHS Golden Staff, but did he build boots, or is he greeting for just the Golden Staff again, similar to his Leslie game in game number 2?
This is probably just going to be a greedy game.
Donuts
can just really clear the way fast. He do have priority. Just go in, blazing duet, get out of there, and he will be able to find a lot more value in some other parts of the map. Speaking of some other parts of the map, Wise
sprint committed. Donut still able to actually. Wow, D7 on the back C-Cat with a kill. Donut! He survives! 1 HP! Venus wasn't able to find the kill. And that's incredible value right as the Turtles pause for BURNxFLASH.
Oh, two teams that's really playing it well. Wise, very commendable jump onto Wise because what he did was to cut off the double lane that Donut wanted to do. But then again, Donut was able to dodge the plate coming out from Wise. That's why he didn't die. And he survived through all my Venus. All the while, D7 found the opening on the Owl, opposing gold laner.
Little wins, it builds up. Wise. If he steals this,
no way!
Oh my! Drive-by! Steals it away!
Oh my god.
Absolutely disgusting. I would have thought that BURNxFLASH had that priority. I mean, he did. They were holding on to the turtle for so long.
What the heck?
This is on a different planet,
That was a drive-by, literally.
I can't
Hello,
believe
McDonald's, how can I help you?
I'm in disbelief that happened. BURNxFLASH are already en route to control this game. Wise makes 2 good plays. Wasn't able to connect onto the kill of Donut, but he still managed to do the right call against BURNxFLASH. Then he gets the turtle number 3. And now he's owning this part of the map as well. You're gonna have to really give big props to this guy, utilizing the backsha, all of the utilities that you have for the backsha to its full, full potential.
The timing was just bloody impeccable. Wise is so used to this. He's so immersed in the role of the jungle. And he knows how to be the king of the jungle. He's constantly getting all these retributions in. Game number 2, that was a fluke. Wise wants to show the world that BLACKLIST International, him himself, is still the king of the jungle regardless.
Holy moly, Donut's gonna be dove on now with Blazing Duet. Wise gonna be locked down, but he's too tanky. He popped in the Tortoise's Poisons earlier. Now D7 might just take all of it, all the damage. Real world manipulation as well. Owl dealing the damage onto the back line. Edward jumping in, finding the kill. D7's next on the chopping block as D7's still gonna be able to survive for a bit until Edward comes down for a double. Meanwhile, Chama in the back looking for the decimation as ATM helps him in his task for glory. One more shot for Chama. It's miscalculated, and Owl should be able to find the kill. Now it's a flicker from ATM to lock Owl down. Now the kite, ATM will not be able to escape right now as he pops in a split. A few more hits, and Edward finds his 3rd kill in this team fight. 2,000 gold lead instantly towards BLACKLIST.
So many clutch stuff that happened. Wise, for example, Donut was already almost getting out, but he had to cancel the recall. Now he gets hit by Wise. Wise then is getting killed, but there was an exchange for BLACKLIST. When Owl wanted to recall back, he was hit by the ultimate of Owl that canceled his recall, and he was taken out eventually by Edward. Edward, as well as Oh My Venus, just combining, and Owl, combining for that. But Yue with that Terrify, so that he was able to cancel the animation of ATM. ATM could not complete the stacks, so that he will be able to pop the grab on to Yue just because of one Terrify.
Another Terrify, just pure lockdown. D7 wants to look for a re-engage right now, but just pops the Tyrant's Revenge as US steals away to RWM. Now locked down, and CCat's RWM as his split comes down. He's looking for the mount, but he's not able to find it right now. Owl's free hitting, one more shot. Soaks it up with the split. In the back, finding the damage, but it's not enough to take anyone down. Edward was waiting on a battle mirror image. BLACKLIST have outsmarted BURNxFLASH.
Yue and Oh My Venus were all so close. And this is probably one of the good things that we are looking at from the side of ATM. When he pops into split, no one can hit him as long as he's running backwards.
Oh my, Chama, you cannot enter here.
No way, Chama.
Oh My Venus dies
out by Edward. BURNxFLASH. ATM was able to find it somehow, some way, but Wise now 100-0. Lord taken for BLACKLIST.
A very different kind of game from the side of BLACKLIST International now. This is very reminiscent to game number 1. But they're technically having a little bit better control as compared to before.
There has somebody has to step up for BLACKLIST International after that game 2 loss. And now Edward and Wise, they're really stepping up. Edward reading the map so well, knowing that BURNxFLASH eventually will utilize the strength of the Claude, waited for the right moment to strike and really shut down what BURNxFLASH wanted to do. And then there's Wise. All throughout this game, man, he's playing so well.
I think it really boils down to playing around the rotations of Edward. They're trying to unlock Edward and trying to make sure that Edward is constantly around the map and making full use of that lane priority. Shut the wave out as much as possible. Don't care about ATM. This glue is not worth your time. Focus your time somewhere else.
Lord's gonna be slain though. BLACKLIST unable to utilize this Lord to take a tier 2 up top, but they should be able to take this tier 1 in the mid lane unless, BURNxFLASH cleared it out. BURNxFLASH doing pretty good damage control right now as BLACKLIST are unable to siege on the turrets, but that wave crashes down top and bottom. Tier 2's fallen.
I think that they more or less have been able to get the dividends out of that the first Lord. Most of the time when taking the first Lord, you'll want to bring down all of the outer turrets. But BURNxFLASH, they understood that they need the middle lane turrets. They need the first tier defense turrets as much as possible. Everyone was preparing themselves for a siege of that one.
Full commit onto Wise. But Edward's in the back right now. He's going to be able to buy some time. His dad's going to be Owl once again. Free hitting in the back.
ATM.
That should be ATM down. Real world manipulation by CCat. Not a good angle. And Donut to follow it up in the back. zoning Venus away. Yue finding the decimation. Chama does the same. Edward's next to the chopping block as Donut's gonna be taken down to the bottom lane. And this is Chama versus Edward, 1v1. Edward's winning it. There's no way for Chama to run. Edward has sustained, and Yue has capitalized. A triple kill for what looked like BLACKLIST's demise.
Oh, BLACKLIST International did not panic. Surely there was a good jump coming up from D7. Catching important heroes. Donut was taken out, but they remained composure. Oh my Venus, he tags Yue. He calls him, and then they went in for Donut instead. They let Chima get the kill onto Wise, then Edward buys enough time. Yue was able to get the kill onto Donut. Eventually the triple kill. Really calm and composed, BLACKLIST International. Despite D7 having a good jump, they did not lose their composure.
I gotta have to say, D7, that jump was great. As you see, Tyrant's Revenge and Rage, but it kind of seems as though Donut's damage on the DPS is just not necessarily quite that. He was kind of like doing a drive-by as well.
Yep. Oh my Venus went out of the map to outplay Donut, and Donut was far too exposed. Edward had so much room to work with, so many units to utilize his dash, and of course, Martis at this point, it's not that strong anymore.
What do they do at this point? Up against an Owl who is scaled up against an Novaria with Impure Rage, Roamer, that has so many resources. Chima, let's see if quality is better than quantity. Will he be able to win this one, the big one? ATM already forced to use the split as Owl tries to run him down. Shieldity already jumping in. ATM very low, mounting Yue now. D7 to the back. Edward's forced to use the Vengeance early. Donut's forced to recall. Lord has been reset. Meanwhile, Yue chasing ATM down. How can he escape? The answer is he cannot.
He can't.
Yue finds the kill, and BLACKLIST International will get the Lord for free. BURNxFLASH, no resources to open this up.
The follow-up is now gone from the side of BURNxFLASH, and they have identified that they can't go with this fight. Even if D7 do find a couple, they do not have enough damage. They couldn't zone the most important players away, which is going to be Owl.
Shama as well now. Oh, a snipe from downtown from Venus.
That's a position 5, by the way. That's a roamer.
Painful things coming out from the side of BLACKLIST International. They understood that they're gonna have to poke their way in. They have a lot of high ground. Let's not forget about that. Yue can even take away the RWM. Even more ways where BURNxFLASH can't even get themselves out of it. Yes, we have D7 and Shamar. They do have ways to eventually get themselves out of it without being immobilized. But the main thing is really just to expend all of these resources from the side of BURNxFLASH.
Speaking of RWM, I think that BURNxFLASH haven't utilized that real-world manipulation to its full potential. At the same time, it seems like they're not tactically using it. So they have to do a better job. Seacat is a good mid laner, right? So if you go back to whenever he is being the MVP for the team, you have to kind of unleash that kind of Seacat wherein they use the Nook mages tactically, strategically. Now they just pop in it just for the sake of utilizing it. That should not be happening for BURNxFLASH. And Chima also needs to step up.
I like how BURNxFLASH has already cleared the middle wave creeps. So the only thing that they need to focus on is the top and the bottom lane. But that is a lot of avenues that they're gonna have to cover. A lot of space that they have to close up on. BURNxFLASH, they focus onto the Lord. BLACKLIST International, they're not necessarily looking to wipe out the entire base of BURNxFLASH. They want to play in the most disciplined way possible. And this is just pretty much part of their MO.
Yep. Battle of attrition for BLACKLIST International. They will always... Okay.
Force the flicker, but Seacat's taken low. Edwards jumping into the back line. Needs to be careful, though. Often a bit of Chama zoning. Both teams disengaging. Chama's taken low, though. That's a few good shots from BLACKLIST and Burn. And that's a valuable resource. Look at BURNxFLASH. They did not burn a flicker, a sprint. Owl has no flicker. This is the time span. This is the golden opportunity for Burn.
And need defense. Twilight Armor picked up by Chama, but it's not going to be enough. When it comes to the gold lane, however, it's so difficult to be in the position of Donut. Do you go for a magic defense, like Athena Shield perhaps, or Radiant Armors or lesser, or maybe a Rose Gold Meteor? Or do you go back to the Wind of Nature? I guess if you're thinking about like the actual value of the team fight of BLACKLIST International, it's better to go for magic defense instead of the Wind of Nature. But that means that Owl might find an opening against him.
I think that right now, either one would really work. Because at this point in time, even when we are looking at fights, the main DPS from Donut is no longer from the Blazing Duet. Just standing down itself, just hunker down and really throw out all the basic attacks, that is going to threaten the front lines a lot. So I think that BURNxFLASH, whatever they wants to go for, the Athena Shield or perhaps the Wind of Nature, both of them is still applicable because we are still looking at good amount of damage from Edward, Yue, or Venus when it comes down to Athena Shield, and one of the main damage dealers from Owl.
I don't think the Wind of Nature is applicable at all.
At all.
Like nothing. There's nothing to negate here for physical damage. It's true damage of magic coming down as ATM now. He's going to be caught. Has some damage placed onto him, but Wise is caught as well now in a mobility field. Donut with Athena Shield is zoning everyone away. You wow! He finds his estimation very low now in the back. And Owl will wipe them all. 3 members down for BURNxFLASH. A fight that looked good once again for BXF has turned on its back.
I absolutely, my mind slipped, and I thought that, wait, BLACKLIST International, when did they have got a Martyrs? This decimate after decimate. It seems like we have seen this time and time again and before.
Let's see if they can defend this right now. Only a cannon minion, 2 cannon minions each. Oh my god! Disgusting damage, and it should just be BLACKLIST International! Game number 3, match point.